During the presidential campaign, Joe Biden promised that he would make Saudi Arabia a pariah if elected, after the murder of the US-based journalist Jamal Khashoggi under the orders of Saudi Prince Mohammed bin Salman. But since his election, Mr. Biden has not done anything to alienate the Saudis or make them a pariah in any way, said Michael Isikoff, the chief investigative correspondent for Yahoo News and the host of the podcast, Conspiracyland. CBS News chief Washington correspondent Major Garrett spoke with Isikoff for this week's episode of The Takeout podcast. The third season of Isikoff's podcast is focused on Khashoggi's murder, delving into how it was orchestrated by the operatives of the de facto head of state of Saudi Arabia. I think it's the most grisly murder that I can think of in modern times, all the more shocking it's carried out by operatives of a foreign government that is a U.S. ally, Isikoff said. Isikoff described this report as very skimpy, and noted that the U.S. imposed no sanctions against MBS. He also pointed out that Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin had spoken with MBS just days before the Biden administration released the report about Khashoggi's death. Isikoff said that the impunity with which MBS acted begins under Donald Trump's presidency. This season of Conspiracyland details the ways that the Trump White House basically protected MBS. After Khashoggi was murdered, Isikoff said, the Trump administration had spent 2 years cultivating the Saudis as their principal ally in the Mideast. They were doing everything they could, working through Jared Kushner, who was exchanging hundreds of WhatsApp messages with MBS himself, to prop up MBS, protect him, and that's what they did after this murder, Isikoff said. Isikoff said that Khashoggi's death was just a symptom of a wave of authoritarianism that is rolling across the world. This has to be looked at as part of a much larger story, and that is the sort of wave of authoritarian repression that's going on around the world, and the nexus among these authoritarian regimes, Isikoff said.